Casa Julia is the first, I believe, shelter for victims of domestic violence in Puerto Rico. Domestic violence, unfortunately, is a troubling reality on the island.
Puerto Rico has a big problem with domestic violence. It actually has the highest rate of women killed by their partners per capita. So there's something that is really ingrained within the society. There is a lot of machismo. There is a lot of inequality.
Vivimos en un sistema patriarcal, dominado por el patriarcado. Así que todavía en el 2023 vemos cómo se continúa perpetrando, ¿verdad?, el machismo en nuestro país. Vemos cómo se sigue revictimizando a las sobrevivientes de violencia doméstica.
Cuando se funda Casa Julia, el problema de la violencia doméstica no era reconocido ni por el Estado ni por la sociedad. Era un asunto que se tenía que resolver en la casa. Así que parte de la misión de Casa Julia ha sido poder proveer la estadística y poder, ¿verdad?, hacer esa conciencia y crear esa sensibilidad en la población para que 10 años después que Casa Julia comienza, el Estado reconociera a través de la Ley 54 o la ley que protege a las mujeres de violencia doméstica, que esto es un problema serio, es un problema que se tiene que resolver y que nos toca a todas, a todos y a todos poder atenderlo.
Casa Julia has a very positive impact on the community, not only of Adjuntas, it's an island-wide program. It provides safe haven for victims of domestic violence, returns their sense of self-confidence, their comfort in being independent in the community, and it not only helps the victims, but also their young ones and their children as well.
¿Cuál es la misión de Casa Julia como organización?
Salvar vidas. Salvar vidas, empoderar a las mujeres para que salgan de ese ciclo de violencia, brindarles un espacio seguro donde se puedan sentir, ¿verdad?, que hay quien la está apoyando, que conozcan sus derechos, educarlas sobre los procesos para que puedan salir del círculo de violencia doméstica.
Pues cada uno de nuestros programas de servicio, desde los programas no residenciales hasta los programas de albergue y los programas de vivienda, tienen un componente de empoderamiento, ¿verdad? Primero empezamos a sanar esas heridas, empezamos a tomar talleres para entender el ciclo de la violencia, ¿verdad? Y empezamos a sanar. Con ese acompañamiento, luego, ¿verdad?, les proveemos también talleres de empoderamiento económico, les acompañamos en la medida en que quieran volver a retomar sus estudios, ¿verdad?, hacer los diferentes trámites para que puedan conseguir trabajo, pero sobre todas las cosas el acompañamiento es clave, ¿verdad? Tenemos un programa de la niñez que nos permite cuidar a esos pequeños y esas pequeñas, mientras también reciben sus servicios psicológicos, pero eso le permite a que mamá tenga el tiempo para sanar, permite que mamá tenga el tiempo para estudiar, para empezar un nuevo trabajo, y muchas de nuestras participantes logran, ¿verdad?, son artesanas, son mujeres que logran montar sus negocios, así que ese acompañamiento de Casa Julia les da ese empujoncito para que puedan fortalecerse no solamente en el interior y el exterior, sino también económicamente.
The solar installation that we're providing for Casa Julia is important not only for them to have better stability and supply of power, but it creates security as well. When Hurricane Fiona hit in the third quarter of last year, Casa Julia was without power for a month. During that time, they did have a security breach.
La calle, al no tener alumbrado, la calle estaba completamente oscura, así que una noche pues, se nos metió alguien, brincó la verja. Entendemos que con la intención de robar, y teníamos participantes aquí albergadas, se tuvieron que esconder en el baño, ¿verdad? Estaban bien nerviosas. No pasó a mayores, pero sí pues, se tuvo que poner 2 empleadas por turno para que pudieran hacer ese acompañamiento, porque dejar una empleada con las participantes era peligroso porque es sumamente oscuro.
I mean, I got the sense that energy access to women means security, which seems to be such a basic thing for us, but it's not for them. It really impacts their lives. For example, at Casa Julia, the administrator told us basically that women left because after Hurricane Fiona, they didn't have access to energy for 1 month. And even though it is a shelter, it's supposed to make you feel safe and secure, they didn't feel secure, so they had to leave because these basic energy requirements weren't met.
The transmission, distribution, and generation equipment in Puerto Rico is aging, And a big part of the actual generation fleet is based on fossil fuels. And in some ways, the residents of Puerto Rico have tried to address it using distributed generation, but mostly relying on diesel generators. So any fluctuations in gas prices or even just accessing the gas stations can be quite a problem during times of need, particularly after hurricanes. So natural disasters can take a big toll, and there can be outages that last from a few hours to even 8 months without electricity.
Claro, en Casa Julia y el país completo nos afectamos porque esta preocupación de llevar a cabo una administración de un lugar, de un albergue, de un servicio, cuando sabes que no cuentas con el servicio energético, que tienes que hacer, como decimos en el buen español, de tripas corazones y tratar de buscar cómo remediar las situaciones para poder trabajar y poder brindar un servicio, porque sabemos que las víctimas de violencia doméstica y la violencia doméstica en general no para. La violencia de género no para, no descansa.
You know, our mission statement at Wood Mackenzie is, you know, transforming the way we power our planet, and I see that happening in real time. You know, these communities were solely dependent on traditional utilities and, you know, conventional resources of power. But with this project, we are, you know, giving them energy independence, you know, making the energy more democratized.
This project is a way for, at least how I see that Woodmac is walking the talk. So we are seeing the direct impact that providing solar panels, which is one of the technologies that we cover at Woodmac, directly is empowering communities, is helping provide this energy independence, and is literally transforming the way these different families, these different communities are getting access to electricity. It is a direct shift from fossil fuel generators to solar power that is going to be working for the next 20-25 years. So it's a direct impact.
We had such a success in our first year with Let's Share the Sun. It really hit all the high notes that we were hoping for in March of 2022, that immediately upon finishing the first year, we started working on the second year and scoping it out and making sure that we could broaden it, improve it, and make it more accessible to more Woodmackers. We set out to find something where there would be a lot of community engagement, and that certainly was achieved in the first year, and we're seeing a lot of that relationship building continue into the second year.
I've just been so impressed with the commitment to do this, that we are transforming the way we power the planet, and that it's happening concurrently in the poorest parts of the world to the most developed parts of the world. So there's the concrete activity of installing solar panels, but there's also the much more significant human connection.
Being here in Adjuntas with all these people coming from all over the world, being driven by a shared sense of purpose really made me feel so hopeful that we can actually achieve this. Because you can see, like, bring these people together, we had a really tangible impact. We were not able to talk about and exchange our views and perspective and take that home, but really make an impact on the communities here, and did it in such a sustainable way. And tackling sustainability and poverty at the same time is so powerful, and really impressed me a lot about this experience.
You're doing more than just putting solar panels on the roof and lowering a cost. That is improving the whole operation of the facility and the human connection of some of the female leaders in Wood Mackenzie with some of the women that are both part of the staff and then people that are benefiting from the services of. So we had the national network. I think we're going to have all of the domestic violence centers covered with solar, but also the love and the kind of relationship that we support the women as they heal from those terrible experiences in life and get back to hopefully normalcy and full lives of abundance.
Representa mucha esperanza para nuestra organización, representa un alivio muy grande y un apoyo enorme para todas las personas, en su mayoría mujeres también, que día a día salimos a combatir la violencia de género y a sanarla. Sobre todas las cosas, representa mucho alivio saber que Casa Julia cuenta con este sistema de placas solares. No solamente nos abarata los costos de energía, pero también sabemos que el sistema está muy débil y Casa Julia va a poder brindar y va a poder decir que es un espacio seguro para que las sobrevivientes sepan que pueden llegar aquí y que aquí no les va a faltar, ¿verdad?, ningún servicio que es esencial.
So what I noticed in the last couple of days is solar power is so much more accessible. Before, 1 day ago, I had no idea about how to install a solar panel on a roof. I had no idea about it at all. And then I was able just to sort of set it up, even though I'm not an engineer myself. It's so accessible, anyone can do it, and the resource is already available to us. We don't have to destroy the environment to really sort of help people have basic energy.
To be able to go up on the roofs and be able to see and witness all of this happen, install those panels, install the racking. I think just seeing everything happen in real time and be able to be involved and have boots on the ground and do all this definitely put a lot of things in perspective, and I'm going to definitely take that back with me when I'm thinking about doing my research.
I think what I've learned most from this experience is the power of individuals in the community to transform the way we power our planet. We focus a lot on the macro, governments and organizations, but everyone has access to the sun. Everyone can potentially contribute to the energy transition and potentially be self-sufficient when it comes to energy. So I think that's been really powerful for me in seeing what communities like Adjuntas have done and how we can replicate that around the world.
There's so much that can be learned over this experience. I think the number one takeaway is that the energy transition, first and foremost, is very real. It does have a big impact for those of us fortunate enough to make a decision on how we want our lives to be impacted or how we want our lives to carry forth through the energy transition. It's a real eye-opener to say, hey, these folks have no decisions to make. They don't have the finances to necessarily get out of it. They do need help and support. And so for those of us throughout the world, not only just at Adjuntas, but globally, that don't have any options and don't have any choice, it's super heartwarming and fulfilling to know that we are taking our resources and providing it to these people and helping them overcome otherwise a very challenging and in many cases a harsh reality.
Energy independence is really personal independence, and for a place like Puerto Rico that's been so heavily impacted by natural disasters, where some residents have gone without power for almost a year, that has an impact on their ability to thrive and their personal security. So more than anything, what we're doing with Let's Share the Sun is providing energy independence and energy security for people, which is a human right.
This has been a completely new experience for me. But then as a woman, as a Latina, it's just invaluable to see the impact that these installations are going to have for these women. It's a solar changing life, it's solar saving lives. And this is something that I was not expecting to feel, or I was not aware of how valuable or how useful solar is for driving energy equity, for driving gender equity, and in general for driving the energy transition.
Pues nosotros tenemos, ¿verdad? Estamos muy contentos de esta colaboración y de que sean aliados de la casa, aliados por la equidad. Así que yo creo que el poder continuar este proyecto con otros albergues, en Puerto Rico existen 9 albergues de violencia doméstica, como te decía, es una aportación de justicia para nuestras mujeres en Puerto Rico. El poder contar con un sistema energético, ¿verdad? Solar es un acto de justicia para que las mujeres puedan disfrutar de un servicio esencial mientras sanamos la violencia doméstica.